that they're losing billions.
Not millions,
Billions. Having bad data is even worse than having no data. It should start with understanding what data is crucial for your business.
Yeah, garbage in, garbage out. That's true. In the ever-changing world of business, staying ahead of the curve with technology is crucial. Here on The Upload, we explore the tools and strategies that empower companies and businesses to thrive. I'm Patrick Segovia, your host for this upload. And joining us today is a true IT powerhouse, Sheryll, with over 25 years of experience. Sheryll is a seasoned pro when it comes to data management and analytics, and also building strong customer relationships, all through the magic of enterprise technology. She's navigated solutions consulting, project management, wielding her expertise to optimize data and processes for countless of businesses and companies. So today we're gonna go through like a deep dive with Sheryll as we unpack the latest advancements in enterprise technology and how you can leverage them to gain a serious competitive edge to enable a business growth.
Thank you for having me, Patrick, and thank you for all the viewers. Thank you for inviting me. I'm actually excited to join this upload because I'm just excited to share my experiences as a data practitioner.
Tell us a little bit more about data quality, Sheryll, and why is it so important for companies to kind of do this practice very early on? Because a lot of companies they have big data stored somewhere. They don't even know how to take advantage of it, right? Get it out, even use it. Not especially that AI is going to be around, diba? How do we utilize that data if it's siloed, it's kept there, and it's not utilized?
To start off, Patrick, I believe not all data are born bad. Okay. Data is automatically created because there's a lot of systems out there, and these systems are there to serve its own purposes. So why data turns out to be bad? It's like a food in a refrigerator. It gets spoiled over time due to a lot of factors. You mentioned data silos. With all the advancements in technologies, with all the different demands from different departments, of course, there will be different datas, different systems, and each system has their own data. So data between systems, they don't talk to each other. Like, they are not aligned, some of them. And another factor is the merging and acquisitions. Companies merge and we cannot do anything about it. And that's a reality. But what happens to the data as these companies merge?
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Because now
So,
they're gonna be having an issue now.
We're talking about data duplications now. We're talking about data following different standards. So when they merge and when we consolidate all those data in one system, that's where problem happens.
Right. It's a mess.
Yes. So there's a lot of factor. When you also change an application, you used to use this platform, let's say platform A for a certain CRM, and then you move to a newer version or it's either a newer version or completely a new type of platform. So what happens to the data? So you're gonna migrate it. So as you migrate the data, that's where error happens. Talking about errors, we cannot discount the fact that human errors also happen. As the company gets more and more employees to enter data into their systems, typographical error can happen. Okay, so those are some factors that contributes to the quality of data. That's why I said data is not born bad. There are just a lot of forces, different factors to consider why this data became unusable, became poor, became incomplete, became inaccurate. So there.
So Sheryll, many companies acknowledge that there is bad data. Some don't, no? But so how many truly understand the cost, the opportunity cost?
Actually, not that much. Although most individuals in the organization, they really recognize that they have poor quality of data, but they haven't really thoroughly quantified the impact of that. Yeah, they know that they have unstandardized data. They know that there are duplicated data. But when you ask them, how does it impact your business? They don't know. because they really haven't done a deep dive assessment on how this poor data impacts our business. So that's the problem here. They don't have, for one, they don't know how. They don't know how to measure the impact, because there has to be a data-driven approach for them to measure the impact of the poor quality of data to their business. There has to be a method wherein the data will be tied up to a certain process, a data that is tied up with the system, and the system that supports the process. Only if they do that, they will be able to understand the impact, the real impact. When I say impact, there has to be a financial impact, financial implication of having or maintaining that poor quality data. So unfortunately, while data has been around for decades, more than decades, no, so a lot of companies have their own data, but they have their dirty data in the first place. But ano ngayon, parang we have, they just recognize, but they don't do anything. They don't do any action out of it.
Well, is a data-driven approach crucial to evaluating the negative effects of poor data quality?
Without this data-driven approach, they won't be able to measure or understand the extent or the full risk of having this data. I'll give you an example. We used to have a client in the energy and utility industry. They have been maintaining bad data, and the management knows about it, is aware of it.
Right.
But only until when we did a detailed analysis, a data-driven approach assessment on their data, only then they realized that they're losing billions. Imagining they're losing billions a year.
Not millions,
Billions. We're talking about billions here, because when we deep dive into one of their systems, we found out that there are equipment ID that is not tagged or tied to any of their customers. So meaning to say, there are machineries out there or equipments out there that have been deployed and it's being used. It's eating up their resources, but it's not being billed because there's no specific customer ID that's tagged into it.
Well, so it's not being monitored.
Yes, there's a customer ID there, but when you look at the customer record, that customer ID is missing.
Okay.
Is it fraud? I don't know. And I don't know, but that is one of the examples wherein only then were they able to realize na, my goodness. So having inaccurate data is not just for the thought of, we have inaccurate data and that's it. It
starts from the practice of gathering the data.
Gathering the data
and setting up the right practices or the right procedures to put that data in your data your data storage or wherever you keep it.
It should start with understanding what data is crucial for your business. What are the key data that you need to have? And you need to make sure that it's 100% clean, 100% accurate, no duplications at all. Otherwise, it will have an impact on this and this and this.
Right.
Because it's like a domino effect. It might impact your customer relationship. It might also impact your operations, and then it will definitely impact your finance.
Especially if they already have an existing CRM, right?
Yes. CRM is one of the key areas to look at when we're talking about quality of data.
Why are CRM systems more vulnerable to bad data or poor data quality?
Customer relationship management, so CRM systems, it houses a lot of information pertaining to the customer. Where do this information come from? It comes from either this has been entered by your salespeople or by the marketing folks, or it has been acquired from merging from another company. Either way, it houses crucial information that can be used, one, for marketing. Okay, if you want to do some if you want to fire out some marketing materials, where are you going to send it? Do you have the right email addresses? Do you have the phone numbers to start with? Okay, so CRM is one of the areas wherein before you roll it out, you have to make sure that you have a good quality data. Otherwise, it will I mean, the project will be jeopardized. The problem here is a lot of companies are always looking towards the end goal. We want to establish CRM. We want to roll out supply chain. We want to roll out vendor management system. We want to roll out analytics. Everyone is focusing on the goal. But wait, even AI.
Everyone wants to get into AI, but they don't know where to start.
But hey, are your data ready for
For
it?
the AI, yeah.
Do you have data, the right data to feed into those systems
Right.
in the first place? Otherwise,
Or
my
the right
goodness,
practices to begin
yes,
with.
CRM, AI, analytics, those, I mean, all of those require millions of investment. And then later on, you are not able to reap the full benefits of it.
yeah.
Why?
Sayang.
Because garbage in,
Right.
garbage out.
Yeah, garbage in, garbage out. That's true. Diba? You wanna create all of this digital innovations,
Yes,
but from the bare bones of it, poor practices really hurt you.
exactly.
You mentioned that bad data can be even worse than no data at all. That's what I got.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate more on that?
Yeah, because bad data is actually, is actually worse than having no data at all. It's actually even more dangerous. Why? Because with no data, you cannot make a bad decision from zero data. You can't just do anything because you don't have any information. But if you have poor data, you thought you have the right information, and then you start doing creating strategies out of that what you thought is the information, which is actually a bad data. So that's the time you can make wrong decision. That is why I said having bad data is even worse than having no data at all. And actually, it in the same sense as same with the costs. No, it costs something if you do something. But if you don't do something, it also costs something.
Yeah.
And
so
most
dapat-
often, doing nothing costs more.
right? So this is more on like
Yeah.
you should take the opportunity to understand as early as now the importance of your data,
Exactly.
and then because it can lead to sales, missed sales opportunities.
Irate
Diba?
customers.
So people should be more proactive
Yeah.
in looking at their data, more proactive in identifying the issues inside their company, why they're not able to access the siloed data and use it and utilize it, right? So with the rise of big data, why is data quality becoming an even bigger challenge today compared to a few years ago?
Because we're now in the era of digital transformation. Actually, it has started more than a couple of years ago. Digital transformation has been a buzzword in the industry, not just in IT, but you can hear it from banks, even from manufacturing companies. In fact, there are companies that establish this digital transformation department or group. There's a group focusing on whatever efforts they can do to transition their companies into becoming more digitalized. And if we're talking about digitalized, two things are important in order for projects to be successful in a digital transformation. Number one is your process. What is there to automate if you don't have the framework or the process to automate to start with? The second thing is the data. As you transform your business into digital, as you digitalize your business, you need to fuel it. You need to fuel the systems with what? Of course, with the data, right? The business, the essence of the business or the essence of the systems is to help you automate a lot of things, to help you create sound decision. You should not make your decisions based on intuition alone or I think this is the trend. I assume. So it should be based on your data because each company operates uniquely. Your competitor is able to roll out this marketing campaign or this kind of strategy because based on their data, based on their history of the business, that's what works for them. But based on your company, do you know where you're good at, where you are strong at? Maybe you might want to roll out products or services that you think can compete to your competitor, but is that really your strength, your core? What does the data tell you? What does the historical data tell you? Who is your market? They might be focusing on different market. Who is your market? What is your customer segments look like? And how can you do that if you have poor data?
Right. So that's where third pillar comes in, right?
Yes.
Because we have the right practices to help you identify where your pain points are.
Yes.
So, can you tell us a little bit more of how do we engage with our customers? How do we do our practice when we come in to, say, look at the infrastructure of a company?
This is a question that is commonly asked from us. When we're talking about quality data, most often we are asked with, how do we start? Where do we start? Okay, clean the data agad. No. I believe it should be, there should be a strategic approach. There has to be a roadmap. Everyone must start with assessing their maturity. The data maturity of their company in terms of people, practice, and technology. Okay, where are they? They want to be. They want to initiate data transformation, but are they people? Are there people? Are there people ready for it?
Or capable
Of it? Do they have the right technology? How far are they from reaching their goal? So that's the first one. They have to assess the maturity. Number two, they have to assess their data. How bad really is it? Baka naman it's not that bad. Baka naman in other areas of their business, the data is okay. Baka it's more on the customer record lang that they need to attend to. Or baka the customer record is okay, but the products records or the product master records are not doing good. So they have to assess. That's what I mentioned earlier about having a data-driven approach when it comes to data assessment. So they have to start with that. Only then they can come up with the right strategy or the right steps on where to start in cleaning the data. How do they clean the data? Which fields, which information are lacking? Which information are missing? And how are we gonna clean it? How much data do we have? How much people do we have? And so that's the step. After they do the cleaning, they have to establish their own data governance. They have to they have to establish their data governance practice to know who can only access what. Kasi otherwise, if everything in their company is able to access the data again and start inputting erroneous data, hindi kayo matatapos.
Yeah.
Poor data will still continue to come in. So the data governance has to be established, and the specific roles and responsibilities for each member has to be defined. And the specifics of the data quality has to be established as well. What are the standards? What are the data or the information that really needs to be there? Otherwise, the system should not accept it. Especially, for example, in CRM, when you're calling a customer, what information you really need to get. You should not leave this field blank because this is very important. The format for this field must be like this. For some systems, formats and specific field definitions are defined. But for other systems, especially the legacy ones, take for instance address, you will just find in a system address field, and then it's free form. You can input whatever you want. So if you do that, are you able to? Is there a policy within your company that tells you all the street must be written as STREET, not ST period? Phone numbers must be written in this way. So otherwise, again, it's gonna be a cyclical process. You will clean and then it gets dirty again. You will clean it gets dirty again.
Right,
So,
right.
yeah, until once you have reached that practice, only then I can say that you are able to roll out initiatives like master data management. Only or once and only you have clean data among the different systems, that's the only time you can establish the golden record, or single view of customer, or single view of product, single view of vendor, but not until you do the initial steps.
So these are just a few strategies, right?
That is the right strategy.
Right strategy. What's like the major strategy that companies should be looking at to adopt data accuracy in the future?
It's very important for them to rely or to get a robust technology platform. That's very crucial, because all the methods that I have discussed, the approach that I have discussed, so for some, they will think, we can do it manually. Okay, we will create the data quality standards manually. We will roll this out, like advising the team through email. So that's again manually. But then again, all for the rest of the data that we have, we will just have to clean it manually. But the thing is, as you clean those data, new data will come in. Because there's a lot of data points now. There's a lot of channels where data can come in now. There's social media. Everything is being done online. So there are online data coming in. There are new data coming in from the call center. So, and then there's an IoT. There's IoT. So there's also data that can be captured from devices. There are external data that needs to be captured by the company and used in their planning or strategies, or in with their analysis, right? So if they don't get a robust technologies to help them in their data management journey, nothing will happen. I'm telling you, nothing will happen. A lot of companies did that. They tried to do things on their own, manually. They don't want to invest, obviously. And they believe in their people that they can actually do it, but it resulted to failure.
Why do you think a lot of Filipino companies are like that? Like, abroad naman, di naman ganun eh. People value their data there, but when it comes here to the Philippines, why are a lot of companies so scared to... Is it they don't know anything about it? I mean, the top management are so old that they don't know what technologies are available today? Or is it that because a lot of the management or the younger mid-management are not skilled enough to talk about the data and technology?
So I guess it's really more on the maturity. It all boils down to maturity of these companies. That's why we're here. We're here to evangelize that do not take data for granted.
And you don't have to be a big company with a lot of data to have good data practices.
Yes, exactly. So there has to be. So maybe it's really the right time for these companies to be, to be aware of how poor data can really impact your business. And for the past few minutes, we just talked about CRM, right? What about for other systems? Well, take for CRM for instance. Okay, let's focus on CRM because it's all about customers. Why do we have businesses, diba? So we get business, we get revenues from customers. So customer record is really something to be taken with utmost importance. Okay, so if you have poor data, customers nowadays, diba, we are living in a very competitive world, and most customers, they prefer personalized approach, personalized marketing. Why am I getting SMS or promotions for something that doesn't interest?
It's not relatable.
Yeah, it doesn't interest me at all. So why is that? Simply because these companies don't know how to reach out to me. They don't know how to touch base with me.
Right. They don't know the psychographics of the
simply
customer.
Because they don't know which segment do I belong.
Right.
Product segmentation, not products. Customer segmentation is very important when you try to do some marketing campaigns or if you want to target specific customers. And how are you gonna segment your customers if you have missing data? Or there's a data but it's inaccurate.
Right.
So take for example the birthday. If you don't have that one single information, just a birthday, how can you already segment your customer in terms of age?
Correct. Yeah, there's this company. It's in Greenbelt because our office is near the Greenbelt. they send me these emails. They send me emails. Happy birthday. Okay, and then it's
what?
just a greeting, diba?
Yes.
There's no discounts. When I should expect, like, at least if you're promoting your products, you have, oh, here's a birthday discount, 50%
Yes,
off or
yes.
something like that. Wala.
You should
It's
be-
not there, diba? So
Exactly.
why are you even sending me a message, happy birthday, right? That doesn't really resonate to me.
Exactly.
Diba?
So I even have a friend, kalbo na siya. He actually receives promos for salon.
Oh.
Sa nga hair salon.
And they don't know
They
na
don't know,
walang
but
buhok yung guy.
Exactly. So, well, of course, there's no way for you to find out if may buhok yung guy or not. But if you have to take into consider the age, the gender of that person, di ba? Parang a person that is 50 plus, working in this industry, he's a male, he's married, he has children, most likely konti
They could-
na lang buhok niyan eh.
Yeah. But yun nga, di ba? Maybe if
they
they
don't
got that
know.
data, they could have marketed to the whole family.
Exactly.
Di ba? And get more revenue out of that marketing
Exactly.
initiative. Hindi yung nagtatapon lang tayo ng pera sa marketing pero we're not reaching the right demographic or we're not sending the right message.
Exactly. And there are
Right,
also some
right.
marketing campaigns that focuses on householding. If you have good data, you will be able to realize that customers A, D, L, and M lives in the same household. And from their surname, it looks like they're one family. So instead of me bombarding each one of them with my personalized campaign, why don't I just launch a family, a campaign that focuses on, that can benefit their entire family as
Already.
one.
Right.
And that is for digital marketing. But what about for the flyers, for the, I don't know, for anything that's in a form of printout? You're gonna send each of them, mail each of them, and that's costs to the company.
Yeah, that's cost to the company. So, if businesses can't trust their data, what is the point of collecting it in the first
In the
place?
first place, exactly. Data is there to serve a specific purpose. Okay. There's a system. Imagine this. There's a system. Okay, whether it's an ERP or CRM or whatever you call it, wherein there's a data entry screen wherein you have to fill in information. The information that is required to be filled in there were created or were designed for a purpose. Okay? So if you are unable to fill it in with the right content, what is the purpose? Why do you have that in the first place? So these are the things that companies really have to take seriously, kasi most of them are being taken for granted. Oh, we don't use it. Oh, let's skip that. Just focus on the name. No, so why do you have that in the first place? Why do you have your data if you can't use it in analytics? If you can't use it to fuel your decision making?
Right.
If you can't use it for your marketing, why do you have that still?
Yeah.
Diba?
Take it out.
Oh.
Or find a way to use it.
Exactly. Whatever way.
Yeah, well, I don't know. It's not easy naman din, I think, for these companies to realize, because I've met not big companies, but I've also met small companies, and a lot of them are siloed in their organization as well. So the top management doesn't know what's happening below their line down there. They don't know what's happening, and the people down there don't know what to expect or what their goals are. So there's a big disconnect na ngayon. So pagdating na ngayon sa, let's talk about data. The guys up there don't know what's happening. They don't know how to use the data. The guys down there keep collecting data. Diba?
For what?
For what?
Exactly.
Diba? So, and now, time is wasted. Diba? Initiatives,
Time and resources are wasted because those data are stored somewhere else.
Correct.
So it's either it's taking up spaces in their hard drive, or they're paying something to their cloud providers just to store their data that they are unable to
use.
use. One classic test to consider in a company. If the CEO, or I don't know, whoever the leadership is, asks, how many customers do we have? Ideally, all departments, everyone should be able to give the same figure only. But you know what? What's funny? Put them in a conference room, ask that question, you will hear different answers from the chief marketing officer. It's different when you ask the operations head. It's also different when you ask the finance head.
Or the sales guy.
A simple question, how many customers do you have?
Hindi sila aligned.
Hindi sila aligned.
Right.
Because some of them, they count their customers in terms of rows, in terms of transaction, yung iba. They don't know.
Right. So how do we, as third pillar, how do we come in to help these companies?
Oh, yeah.
Where can we begin? From a small company to a big company, where do we come in? And how do we come in?
Yes. So it's good. The third pillar has high regard to data. We have solutions. We have platforms in place to help customers, hone or leverage the most out of their data. So we have platforms that will enable their companies to assess the quality of the data and to clean their data accordingly based on the assessment, to help the companies establish a single view of a certain record, single view of domain. So meaning to say it can be a single view of customer or a single view of vendor. So yeah, single view of employee. We have a platform that will also help them automate the data governance process, because talking about data governance, yes, it circles around policies and procedures, but policies and procedures, if you just let it written there, no one will follow. No one will follow.
So there's an enablement.
Yes,
dapat,
there is a tool, there are platforms out there that should support that policies, those policies and procedures to help you automate things in the background. We have analytics platforms like Tableau to help you manage the data as well. Like if you want to venture into analytics to help you come up with a more data-driven decisions based on, if you want to understand what's happening in your business and what can probably happen. So that what we're talking about analytics. We have platforms to help the customers on their journey towards that. And even if they have, because a lot of customers are quite hesitant to roll out analytics because they have issues on their data, like, we want to have analytics but our backend is so dirty. So we can assist you with that. Tableau alone can already fix or help you standardize or deduplicate data if need be to support your analytics journey. But more than the typical standardization or the duplication process, we have, as I mentioned, we have enterprise data management platforms aside from Tableau that we can propose to our customers to help them with their data management journey.
Right.
Starting off from data assessment to data cleansing to data cataloging, all the way to master data management, even all the way up to automating the data governance.
Right. So people would be, a lot of people would be asking me why we should be working with third pillar, and I always mention them because we work only with technology innovators or Gartner leaders.
Yes.
Right. So maybe you can tell us a little bit more. What is Gartner? What's the impact of this, and why people should be working with Gartner leaders in the Magic Quadrant?
Okay. Gartner is, I have a high regard on Gartner studies. It's always my Bible if I want to search for the best solutions out there, because these third-party research analysts, they do a lot of, they've done a lot of comparative studies against different platforms out there. And that's what I like in third pillar. We only carry premium solutions based on the premium solutions and only the leaders, Gartner leaders, on specific areas of solutions. We have solutions for analytics, for data management. And when you look at Gartner Magic Quadrant, all of them are in the leaders quadrant. What's the significance of that? Number one, you can be assured that the platform is trusted. It has high regard to important factors aside from doing its usual thing. For instance, if we're talking about data management or data quality, of course the tool is expected to clean the data. But aside from its capability to clean the data, you should also look at other factors: user friendliness, scalability, security. Okay, so when I mean all of those other factors or external factors are being considered by Gartner when they do their studies, when they do their research. That's the reason why it's very important for us, or for the customers, or for the companies out there, if you want to venture into anything, okay, either analytics or data management or CRM, there's a lot of tools in the market, but save yourself from an expensive wrong decision.
Right.
Ask Gartner. Ask Gartner. Look for solutions that are backed by Gartner, preferably solutions only that sits on the leaders quadrant, because these solutions have been tested.
Or yung testing is high quality.
Yes, unless it has been tested, hindi nga siya matagal na test, but the level of testing that it has undergone through is reliable enough to be considered as a good product or a good solution.
People say that these solutions are expensive.
Mm-hmm.
How do we respond to something? Mahal naman yan. Ano ba yan? Baka there is a cheaper alternative or option, di ba? Is there a cheaper alternative or option?
You know what?
What's the drawbacks, di ba?
Yeah. There is this pyramid. I don't know if you're familiar with it. In assessing a solution, there's a pyramid that you need to consider: price, quality, and time.
Yeah.
And the reality is you can only get two out of this pyramid. Mahal siya, okay? Mahal siya because there's a quality. So the downside is the expensive. So it's not cheap, but you get a good quality and it can be delivered within the timeline that you need. Okay? You want cheap, so madedeliver din siya ng mabilis, but there's no quality.
Quality, right.
You want cheap at magandang quality, asahan mo abot ka ng taon.
Yeah, right.
Ilang taon. So it's that pyramid.
That's true.
Why is data management, why is a quality data management platform so expensive? Because it has a lot of things to consider. A good data management platform is scalable. Okay? Scalable, meaning to say it can automatically adjust to the demand of your organization. As your data gets bigger, you should not have any problem with, oh no, can this tool clean this data of this big? Nako, ang dami ng bagong data from different kind of systems. Can this tool support this kind of new data source? Is it scalable enough? Diba? Kaya mahal. Kasi yung mga good data management platform, they were able to consider all of those, and they have already created built-in connectors to any types of data sources that may come out now or even in the next 10 years or 5 years. So they were able to consider that. Number one, it's the in-depth capabilities. If we're talking about data management or data cleansing, cleaning the data. But wait, it sounds simple, but there's a lot of dynamics when you clean the data. When you clean the data, you have to do some matching. For example, Bank of the Philippine Islands. If I'm able to match it against all the records, it should be able to detect that Bank of the Philippine Island is the same as BPI. And Bank of the Philippine IS, period, is the same as Bank of the Philippine Islands. So there's a lot of algorithms that you need to apply in that. A cheap data quality tool lacks those capabilities. Okay, so if we're talking about a good data management tool, it has a lot of capabilities that's already built into the system. That's why it's expensive. That's why all these enterprise, when we're talking about enterprise data management solutions, the ones in the leader quadrants, yeah, expect a bit of an investment talaga. But the value that it delivers to your business, it has been proven that there's really an ROI. Otherwise, these vendors or these platforms won't be around in the business, in the industry for too long. If the investment is not cannot be reciprocated by the value that it can deliver.
And that's why we're here.
That's why
So
we're
we can
here.
identify those areas of ROI and then tell you, hey, which is the best technologies and tools to use.
Exactly. So the beauty of third pillar being a consulting solutions consulting partner is that we come into the customer, we get the requirements, we understand the requirements and their needs, and then from there we map accordingly what is the best solution for them. Because how we differ against the others, they will come in to the customer, talk about data cleansing. So even though they know that the requirement is of this size only, they will propose the solution that they have, even if the solution that they have is this big.
Right.
Okay. The beauty of third pillar is we are flexible. We have a lot of solutions or different solutions that we can propose depending on the size, on the demand of the client. So we really make sure that the solution is tailored fit to the client. It's not an overkill. We will not propose anything to the client that we know will only give them losses or yeah. When we propose for something, we make sure that it will really help their business grow,
Yeah.
not lose.
Yeah. And of course, for the data scientists and the data practitioners out there, any advice that you can give to them? Yeah, even aspiring students who want to get into this field.
You're on the right track. You're on the right track. Don't give up. What they need to focus on is how are they able to convince or help the companies, push the companies, realize the value of data. We know as data practitioners how valuable data is. And it's just a matter of how are you able to articulate that to the C-level executives, for the data scientist. You're there, it's good, but the thing is, data should not only be consumed or analyzed by people like you, data scientists. The data is for everybody, not just for analysts, not just for scientists. But you're there to support the company, to support these people, to come up with the right insight that they can get. And then from there, they should be able to do things on their own. You should be there to think of the best way on how to approach the kind of data that they have. Because the data scientists are the ones who have visibility on the type of data that they have in an organization. And then from there, they can propose, they can assess what type of technology or platform do they need in order for them for the company to leverage make the most out of the data, automate as much analysis as possible. Otherwise, if companies won't invest to these types of platforms, we will end up with a lot of companies with leaders or management looking at the data that they do not trust. There's a lot of data. There's gonna be a lot of data flying in and around their businesses, but can they trust it? No. Manage it. Process it first before I'm able to trust it. So for all the data practitioners, the future of the company is in your hand. Whether if you continue to come up with a good insight, okay, a good forecast based on the data, if you're always able to leverage or to get or to extract the most out of the data, only then can management or can companies believe in the value of data and the value of getting the right platform to extract the best out of their systems.
Okay, thank you for that, Sheryl. We have 5 minutes left, and this is the portion where we do a rapid fire of questions and ask you something little bit not related to data and technology, and let's talk about personal media consumption, right? So, ano ba? Are you watching anything right now? Maybe top 3 or top 5 things, or you're watching right now Netflix, or if you're not
Yeah.
watching, maybe books that you're reading.
Yeah, I do watch some series, but they are old series. It's just that ngayon ko lang sila pinapanood. Dr. House,
Right.
Young
House,
Sheldon.
yeah.
Yeah, Dr. House, Young Sheldon, and um, yeah, sometimes if I feel like being a kid, I just watch Tom and Jerry.
Right. I like House kasi he's like a detective, right?
Yes,
Tapos
yes.
you watch the whole
He
thing.
thinks
There's a mystery.
radically.
Yeah,
Yes,
radically
yes.
out of the box,
Yes,
right? And
yes.
a lot of us, parang that's what we do eh.
Oo.
Diba? Third pillar. We think out of the box. Bakit? Why do that solution? We can do this instead. Easier, diba? For
yes.
everyone.
So that's all the time that we have for today. Thank you, Sheryl.
Thank
and
you
we hope
also.
that you enjoyed the insightful conversation with her. If you're looking to learn more about the topics we discussed, be sure to check out the resources we've linked in the show notes. And if you're hungry for more tech talks, please subscribe to the upload wherever you listen on your podcasts. And then, of course, we also have the download, which is a monthly newsletter that we publish in LinkedIn and on our Third Pillar channels. You can also connect with us in our LinkedIn accounts. We're also on Facebook. We're more active in LinkedIn. You can visit our website at third-pillar.com. To stay in the loop on future episodes, events, we also have events, and other industry trends. So thank you for joining us on this episode of The Upload.